Right.
Can you hear me all right?
Can you hear us all right? This is Rebecca Freedom. We are back for episode number 3 of Awakened Heart with Joe Nicolosi. The Joe, that guy over there.
What up? I'm with the Freedom.
So you know what I loved you said? I thought it was so amazing is that what people live for. 2 things. Remember?
Love and freedom.
That's right. And so it's like, here we are. I handle the freedom portion of things because I'm a psychic and a medium, and my whole life's mission is to set people free. And then meeting you, you're just like freaking Mr. Romance.
I'm just a catalyst for romance. I'm getting people in touch with their hearts.
All right. But sometimes people misinterpret it. They don't really get what the intention is as far as like setting people. There's a lot of fear that can get involved and things like that. And so there's a lot of name calling that can happen. And I know this recently happened to you. The whole like, oh, you're a womanizer. You womanizer.
Yeah, I mean, that's happened over the years. And you know what I think? I think it's a guilty conscious thing. When somebody says that to you, I think it's because maybe they're playing with people. I mean, why would somebody label you that way? I think it's a guilty conscious thing. I mean, they're playing around with people, so they start assuming you are because they're assuming that you're like them because you like them.
Dropping some truth. So here, it's really.
Wait, did you hear that mic drop? Did you hear that mic drop?
Yeah, totally. So what I actually learned, again, access consciousness is something that I'm studying, and I've been in class all day. And one of the greatest like kind of tools is the things that people accuse you of, they are doing themselves. They're straight up pulling that shit, and then they're telling you you're the one. Like I've had someone tell me, "Oh, Rebecca, you're so judgmental." And Joe, when you met me, did you think, "Oh, this girl's so judgmental"?
No, you know what I thought? I'm like, wow, this girl is just as honest as I am, and she's going to tell me her whole life story right away, just like I will. I love people like that.
Open.
Like we were so honest right off the bat.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we didn't hold anything back.
And, you know, and sometimes people can start like that, but then when you get into relationships, then that's where the expectations, projections, bullshit from your past comes on board. And that's where you start being like, oh, you this.
Well, what it is comparison to your past relationships. You're comparing that new person to who you were with, even though it was dysfunctional, it didn't work out. It's not fair to the new person, is it? Because you're already being put up on this pedestal that you have to live up to, or else you're going to get penalized for it.
Well, what are the penalties?
Well, you're already being compared. That's right off the bat. That's huge. And then she or he's not going to show up fully for you because they're already thinking about their ex still. They're still thinking, well, he's not doing that the way that guy or girl did that. So you're going to be penalized in your actions. You're going to be judged. You're just going to be compared all the time. And it's just not fair. Baggage.
Just a freaking.
That's it.
Crap ton of baggage.
It's a crapshoot.
And you're just like, hey, can you be perfect and help me unpack this? And you're like, no, I can't be perfect because I'm a flawed human being.
You know, I think the biggest mistake people make in going into relationships is that they think it's got to be about them. Like, that's when you're going downhill quick. Like, what's this person gonna do for me? Not how can I become more with this person? See, the thinking has to change. You know, a lot of people, and I know some of you can hear me out there, think, oh, what can this person do for me? No, what about you? Who can you become with this person? That is the question you have to start thinking.
That's the difference.
Like that's the question when you get involved with somebody. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say it. Sorry. That's the difference between a closed heart and an open heart. Is what can I like? What can I become? As a side note, blue's a really good color on you. Well done. Nice choice.
Well, it's my favorite color too, so it works out.
Speed round. Speed round. Chunky peanut butter or creamy peanut butter?
Oh, creamy.
Okay. Strawberry jam or grape?
Grape.
Sleep with clothes on or not? To be determined.
What'd you say? You skipped on that one.
Oh, well, because the internet connection decided to censor me. Can you hear me? How about now? How about now? How about now? Yes? No?
I can now.
Now. Oh, good. Yeah, the angels decided to censor me. I said sleeping with clothes on or not clothes on, or to be determined.
Well, I'd say I only sleep with shorts on. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever that counts as.
Use your imagination. Anyway, rapid round. And the reason I throw something else out like that is because in the beginning, it's good to be cute. You don't have to be so serious, right? Like I got with somebody that was all about like, I have trauma and I have a past. And I'm like, we all have a fucking past.
Here's what gets under my skin, by the way. Here's what really gets under my skin. And I don't get mad at them, but internally I'm like, oh, listen, stop thinking you're the only person who has a past and who's gotten hurt. You're not. Yes. Stop thinking like, man, the world owes you something because you got hurt. You have a choice. You can do something about it now. That's why this new person is right in front of you. This is the universe saying, look, you can recover. You can actually have something good with this person if you choose to.
If you choose to. Huge word. Giant.
It's all a choice.
Choice. You never run out of choices.
That's right. So look, you're not the only person who's been hurt, and you're still going to go through some pain down the road, I'm sure. So it's just the evolution of life here.
But here's the thing, is using your senses here, because there are guys out there there are people that are the wrong people to give your heart to. The people that there's a difference between you judging someone as a womanizer, because maybe you're internally doing that, and there are people out there that are really the wolves in sheep clothing. They're going to come and be like, I thank you.
How do you know this right off the bat? How do you know who's bad to give your energy to? How can you sense it?
Yeah, priorities, values, and standards. Boom. Priorities. All right, at this time in my life, like I like to plug myself, like the almost celebrity. My priority at this particular time in my life is I have a big energy pulling at me. Like I want to go on tour next year. I want to go on book tour. I want to go on like the Love and Freedom tour. I had the inspiration that Dodge Ram is going to be able to like sponsor my tour. But how is all that going to happen? The dream and the reality, there's a huge gap between that. And that takes a crap ton of my energy. Top priority, right? But then you have some cute guy come in here being like, hey, babe, hey, I got the paper.
Strolls right into your life.
I got that paper. Yeah. Not only that, I got this fun stick. You get to ride it. And then I'll be like, oh, is this still my priority? Or am I going to sell myself short? Am I going to sell that priority short for a good time, right? Not somebody who I'm going to be better with. So that's number one, is know your priorities. Number two is have standards. That person better fucking love the Lord and be okay with the fact that I'm a witch and contradiction.
By the way, standards. Look, I hear this a lot. I'm picky. I can't tell you how often I hear that, by the way. Mm-hmm. I'm picky. What does that really mean? Because, look, when you look at who they end up with, they're really not picky. So what do you think that means? Do you think they're just trying to make themselves look good? They're too prideful to admit that they've made bad choices?
Joe, like literally mind blown. Yes. Prideful as prideful.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
They don't want to face their shortcomings and admit that they fucked up before. So they're like, oh, I'm picky. No, you're not picky. You're picky.
Desperate and lonely, and a void is inside of you because your top priorities weren't there. Like, listen, I don't care who you are, or how you are, or whatever you want to believe, or the religious structure or you're up in. If you are not right between you and your higher power, whatever it is you understand that to be, like the rest of your relationships are going to be screwed up.
Look, and when you're saying you're picky, you just want that person to believe you have all these freaking options. Even if you don't. You just want them to believe that there's some competition and they're basically telling you, you better do everything for me. I'm
Smoke
picky.
screen. It's such a smoke screen. Yeah. And I mean, let's be honest, because this is a huge part of it. But all the priorities in your life, all the values, all your standards, picky or not picky, when you find that person that makes your heart sing, like light up, and you're like, oh,
then you let those lyrics out. You start speaking those lyrics.
You just become more of who you are. Like you start to like, and it's not always the pretty parts, right? A lot of times it can be the ugly parts because you are hurt, but they don't run from your ugly and they're not afraid of your crazy.
Yeah, and you know what, too? Every time you find something new that really sparks your fire and lights up your heart, I don't know about you, but I'm like, I don't even care about the hurt that I've experienced. I'm like, I'm ready to see how far we can take this. That's just my perception going into something new. Like, I don't even care. I don't care about my past. It doesn't serve me anymore. And it doesn't serve you either.
Yeah. And like, so here's the real thing is like, we take ourselves so seriously. That's what I'm really getting at about being like chunky peanut butter, what kind of peanut butter and clothes on or off or whatever, is there's a period of time when you get to know somebody. Is that what you want to tell them? That you're picky, i.e. you're putting up a smoke screen. Oh, I'm bragging about all the girls that I can hook up with. Like what message are you really conveying? Because your personal standard and your story and your priorities are personal to you. So what are you going to share with that person, right? Like, and even if you're like Joe and I, and we just met and we're like, this is our life, there's still some precious things to be guarded and to be like slow about.
Well, honestly, you know, for me, it helps just letting everything out. There's nothing I guard. I'll tell you like the deep shit that I'm not too proud of. I'll tell anybody. I mean, because look, I don't have to live with it. It's almost like a cleanse. If I let it out and share it with people, like I cleanse my soul. I'm like, good. I don't feel any hurt, pain because other people know now. They have no leverage on me because now they know.
And more importantly, you are free of your own judgments.
That's right. So you can sleep at night.
Because in AA and other places say you're only as sick as your secrets. You're only sick as the things that you're not allowing.
Guess how many secrets I have, by the way?
2, 3, 4, 1.
Close. Closer.
There's
not one. I don't have any secrets.
Yeah. There are certain things that I think about. I don't necessarily, I'm sure there's some secrets I have, but I try not to keep enemies, right? Like I'll go through, and the hardest person is not to be an enemy to myself, right? Is not to just be like, I'm so stupid. I'm so dumb. so judgmental. Like I'll just be lonely forever. And just so people are aware, just be transparent. I'm 37 years old. I'm at that weird cat lady age where I'm supposed to have a mortgage and kids. I'm not supposed to be thinking about going on tour. I'm not supposed to be some like entrepreneur. Like there's a lot of supposed to's. And I think that's a crazy thing is how much we like shove our lives into the supposed to's instead of who we actually, and then that makes
just like a guy like, and it's just like a guy who's 6'2", good looking, and is white in society, supposed to have it all figured out, right? A guy like that's supposed to have it all figured out at 26. You're supposed to know what the hell you want to do. You're supposed to know where you're going to be. Like, I'm to the point where I don't care. It's like, I don't have to prove myself anymore. I really don't. You know, it's like, I'm just going to live my journey and feel and really try to impact others along the way.
So like we started this cast to really say there's a lot of different things that are going to be slung your way. Tons of judgments, like you're a womanizer or you're an old spinster, or the biggest one is, why don't you have your shit together? And here's a little secret. No one has their shit together. Pretty much we're all just faking it.
Look, even these, you know, because a lot of people equate having your shit together with money, and it's a big part, right? Even some millionaires don't have it together in their personal lives. So it's really, you know, you can't judge anybody on where they're at because everybody evolves at a different rate. Everybody's experiencing something different in life. And it's not fair to say you should be here and here and here because I'm here, you know?
And it's also not to shame yourself if you really have that deep longing for partnership. If you really are just like, because so often as a therapist, I've seen it time and time again, people try to fix themselves into being the right fit instead of just being like, I am actually I'm not flawed. I'm unique. I look at the world. I have a certain perspective, a certain way of being, and certain things light me up and other things don't. Like, I don't want to jump out of a plane, but some people are like, fuck yeah, jump out of a plane, you know?
Yeah. I mean, look, was there ever a time in your life where you really got your hopes up for somebody, but you didn't think you could actually attain them?
Oh God, I don't know if it was not being able to attain them. It was more like once I got in a relationship and I like fell for them, I felt like I couldn't ever keep them.
Yeah. I got you. Well, it's just a whole matter of timing and circumstance and growth. That's probably why. But, I'll tell you a story. I ended up liking a professional golfer who I thought I legit could pull off and have a chance with. I mean, we texted, we wrote to each other. We really connected, and she was just on a whole different level in her life. Killing it, making her millions, traveling on tour. She's, well known. I'm just this average Joe, right? This average Joe who thinks, shit, he's got a chance. He can do this. I believed it, and I put the effort in it. I made her a poem and sent this nice thing to her for Christmas. Had her address. Like, luckily, I built a relationship. It was more of a, friendship, but we built off it. And I'm like, well, look, if I stay in this, I can pull this off. We haven't talked in like 2 years. But, at one point it was like, let's keep me going. I'm like, man, I got something big to shoot for now.
Well, I love that you're really just putting it out there, and it's so refreshing because like vulnerability keeps you, and awareness are actually what keep you safe. Putting barriers up and hiding behind them don't really keep you safe. So when it comes to, like, really, if you're going to talk to the women out there that are so afraid of the womanizer or the fuckboy or just being used, and they put up all these walls or these I'm picky, or here's another crazy one. I have no filter. I hear that all the time. People just like spew stuff at you. I have no filter.
None of us do.
Yeah, I know. So what would you say is really going to be the thing that helps somebody choose better? Like, that choose their partner better.
Well, first you got to get to know yourself better. I mean, that's the first step. Like, you have to like at least be somewhat, I would say, in love with either who you are or where you are. It's one of the two. Preferably who you are. I think that'll make it easier. But look, if you're coming at somebody with insecurity, I mean, they're going to sense it, and you're just showing you're insecure by labeling people right off the bat.
By the judgments that you're projecting at other people, that's basically a reflection of like where you're at in your journey. You're not wrong for it.
You just might feel insecure about certain parts of yourself and when you're at in life. So you start, defending yourself in a way by pushing that on other people.
And the reason we do that, because we need somebody else to do it for us so that we can see it outside of ourselves. It's almost like we can be a spectator to what we need to learn. So we'll put it out there so that it comes back to us. And then we can sort of incorporate it and learn it for ourselves. But what I want to offer people in this moment, listen up. What I want to offer people in this moment is to say that if you have insecurity, doesn't mean you're flawed, you're bad, anything's wrong. It just means that you have a skill set that's yet to be developed, it's going to take some time for you to be like, no, I'm good in this area. Like, there are certain things that there's a lifetime of learning, but when it comes to knowing I can't be fucked with, like, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I can
unfuck with a boy.
I'm unfuckable with. Like, I can hurt, I can cry, I can be angry. That doesn't mean that I'm insecure. I just know deep down in my soul, after everything I've been through, I cannot be fucked with, and it's a bad idea to fuck with me.
Yeah. You know what? I feel the same way, but let's talk about these insecurities. Like, what are some things that you face getting involved with somebody new that, you know, you might be a little insecure about?
Nothing. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, if that's the truth, that's the truth.
Yeah. You know, the one thing you start to feel is like, does this person like me? Do they like me? And you don't, and that's a really interesting mindset. Do they like me? And it's like the difference between going to a job and being like, do I actually want this job, versus like, oh, please, 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 can I please have this shitty job? Please, please, I just want this crappy job. I need a paycheck. Right? Instead of being like, wait a minute, do I really want to wake up at 4:30 in the morning, commute for a goddamn hour, get to a job where there's someone named Tina like riding my ass all day, and I come home to a freaking beer and a hernia? No, I don't want that. But we choose those types of relationships all the time because we want a paycheck.
Right. We want the instant, you know, quick fix.
But if
we want to know that we're validated right off the bat.
Yeah. But so the point of coming into a thing, it's like you're already on the wrong foot if you're asking, do they like me? Instead of like, do I like this person? Can I grow with this person?
That's the question. Can I grow with this person? That's what I keep telling people to ask. Mm-hmm. You know? So for some reason, people come and ask me for advice. I'm not the guy who's supposed to be giving advice in relationships, but I'll say, look, can you grow with this person? Bottom line.
Okay, raise your hand if you're married. Neither of us. Raise your hand if you have kids. Nope.
Raise your hand if you're going to be married.
Well, raise your hand even if it's not like if you know, and you're like, there's like a love that's going to grow with you. And the thing is, it's like setting and timing. Let's talk about readiness, Joe. Once we get our heads out of judgment, right? Out of this judgy place of like, oh, I need a relationship to be valid. Let's talk about actually being ready to be in a healthy fucking relationship.
This kind of hits home. This hits home because a lot of the times, actually most of the times, I haven't felt ready. But I've always been the type that, you know, there's never really a perfect time. You're just going to dive in, right? Mm-hmm. But it makes sense why certain things don't work out, because you're not taking care of shit in all areas of your life. You're just focused on that relationship. In my case, you know, I'm like, readiness for me would be, listen, I like where I'm at professionally. I like where I'm at personally. Marry those two together, that's readiness at its best. I don't know if you know, a lot of us are there, though. I mean, readiness, it comes down to circumstances and goals, too. Like, all right, are your goals aligned with theirs? Where are you currently in your life? And can you evolve within another year or two to make sure that you really mesh with that person? That's what readiness is. Like, readiness it all comes down to timing. Like, it's so cliche. Yes. Timing means circumstances, you know, how fast you're progressing in your own
rate of evolution, rate of like co-evolution.
Yeah. And my biggest insecurity has always been my professional life. Like, all right, what path am I going to go on as far as career, business? You know, I'm like, I need to put more attention on that. Mm-hmm. And I think once I figure that out, it'll just take me to a whole nother level, and I'll really feel like I'm ready for everything, you know?
So next level magic here, and again, we'll go into this in the next podcast, is like, you can travel that uncertain road, that shaky road, that road of like co-evolution with somebody if you have this one core component that you both share, which is commitment. And so I'm gonna leave the ... there for people. Give them a little taster.
Yeah, but what does commitment mean to you, Rebecca Freedom?
What does commitment mean to me? It means I'm unfuckable with, and the person that I'm with is just as much of a badass. They actually, you know, it's not that they need to put all their energy focusing on fixing themselves. They're ready to show up and live life, and they know that they are ready for a partner that's going to ride or die. And
commitment, to boil it down to 2 words, all in. That's it. All in. Boom! Both people, all in. Regardless of obstacles, you don't see those obstacles, you see the possibilities. That's what commitment means.
You don't see the obstacles, you see the possibilities.
No, I'm sorry. 3 words. All fucking in.
Woo! Go on, tell
all fucking in.
If you love this, share it. Leave your comments below. You know, subscribe to the channel, Joe's channel. This is just something that is like, it's sage advice repackaged in like a powerful way between love and freedom. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you guys.
You got to do a sign off this time. Awakened Heart. I've been doing
We're
this
awakened. All right. Joe Nicolosi signing off.
This is Rebecca Freedom. Be set free.